The laburnum top. The laburnum top, it is the name of a tree. Okay. And the poet Ted Hughes. Let us know about Ted Hughes. Ted Hughes was a celebrated British poet and author, known for his powerful nature-inspired poetry. He served as Poet Laureate of the UK and wrote children's stories and plays blending mythology and nature. So, stanza wise and line by line, let us enjoy what Ted Hughes wants us to understand and reflect to ourselves. The laburnum top is silent, quiet, still in the afternoon yellow September sunlight, a few leaves yellowing, all its seeds fallen. So here in the first stanza, the poet begins by describing a quiet, still scene of a laburnum tree in September sunlight month. The tree's leaves are turning yellow and its seeds have fallen, creating an atmosphere of calm and stillness. And the poetic device that we get here to understand is of imagery, personification, then alliteration. This three poetic device we are getting here in this first stanza. First one is of imagery that creates a visual stillness. The stillness. That means quite still. So this is our visual, okay, visual image that gives the poetic device of imagery. Imagery. And second one is silent. The laburnum top is silent. So the tree is described here as silent. So the tree laburnum is personified. That means it is the poet had used here the poetic device of personification. That means the tree top is silent. Silent, I think you know what does it mean to keep quiet, isn't it? Okay. Then in the line two, okay, again the poet is using the imagery device, poetic device that describes the warm yellow sunlight. Okay, the warm yellow sunlight. Okay, this is okay. This one yellow afternoon yellow and sunlight. That means it is warm. So this poetic device of imagery it is used by the poet here, and with the repetition also it is used here as the sound S in September sunlight. Okay, we can see here S and S. So we can say the alliteration also it is used by the poet. A few leaves yellowing, all its seeds fallen. Here the poetic device again it is used of alliteration, the sound of S in seeds, F and S here. This one. Okay, alliteration. And imagery also it is used that focus on the autumnal transition, changing. A few leaves yellowing. That means the transition of the season. Okay, autumnal transition. Let us move with the second stanza. Till the goldfinch comes with a twinching chirp, a suddenness, a startlement at a branch end, then sleek as a lizard and alert and abrupt, she enters the thickness and a machine starts up of chitterings and a tremor of wings and thrillings. The whole tree trembles and thrills. It is the engine of her family. She strokes it full, then flirts out to a branch end, showing her barred face identity mask So here in stanza, the poet describes the silence is suddenly interrupted when a goldfinch arrives, causing a stir of excitement. The bird lands at the edge of a branch, moving swiftly, alertly, like entering the tree with sudden energy. Find out some of the devices, poetic device here. The tilt, the till finch comes. Here we can observe the scene, okay? And if we observe the scene of arriving of the bird moving quickly and making chirping sounds, that means the poetic device it is used here of chirp, chirp, chirp. That means imitates the sound of the bird. So here we can point out that the poetic device which is used here, okay, this one, twitching, chirping, it is used of onomatopoeia, onomatopoeia, onomatopoeia. And again, we can see that, okay, of alliteration also, okay, of alliteration, okay, in between here we can say twitching. Then in the second stanza, suddenness, startlement at a branch end. Here, the poetic device suddenness and startlement, that is of poetic device of alliteration, and we can say the tree that seems startled by the bird's arrival as a personification. Okay. Then sleek as a lizard and alert and abrupt. Here it is compared. That means simile. It is used, the poetic device, it is used here for the birds that is compared to a lizard. Okay. Then sleek as because of this. Okay. And here then sleek as a lizard and alert and abrupt. So here this is your simile, the poetic device that is used in this line by the poet, and alert and abrupt we can say it is an alliteration. Then moving ahead, she enters the thickness and a machine starts up. She enters the thickness and a machine starts up. Here we have to identify, you have to guess also what is the poetic device the poet used here is of metaphor. Okay, it is of metaphor. She enters the thickness and a machine starts up. The metaphor, that means the bird's family is compared to a machine starting up. So she here stands for birds, and this she pronoun, that means okay, is used as a poetic device of metaphor, and thickness and starts we can say it is alliteration. So next, of chatterings and a tremor of wings and thrillings. So here the poetic device again is chattering and thrillings. It is pointed out as onomatopoeia, the poetic device, and repetition of sound is, that means alliteration. Next, the whole tree trembles and thrills. Here the poetic device is used is of personification, that means the tree trembles and thrills. Okay, and here again we can say okay, trembles and thrills as a alliteration device also, both it is used here. Okay, the whole tree it is of personification, and within this personification another poetic device that is used by the poet is of repetition of t sound, that is alliteration. It is the engine of her family. So here the poetic device again the poet has used of metaphor, that is the bird is compared to an engine bringing the family to life. Okay, it is here, it is the engine of her family. Okay, so this entire sentence it is used of poetic device as metaphor. That means the bird is compared to an engine. Okay, the bird it is compared to an engine bringing the family to life. She strokes it full, then flirts out to a branch end. Here, the poetic device is of metaphor, that is, strokes it full. Okay, strokes it full. This one, strokes it full. The line which I'm clicking, it sometimes moves aside. So please excuse me because I am not skilled in these things. I'm just helping it out to and learn it to along with you. So here the poetic device, okay, stroke it full is of metaphor that like stroking a fire, suggesting feeding or energizing her family, okay, and flirts out. Here the flirts then flirts out. This word it is used as personification, okay, showing her Barrett face identity mask. So here the poetic device of imagery it is used that creates a vivid picture of the bird's face. Okay, showing her Barrett faced identity mask is the imagery poetic device. That means it creates a vivid picture of the bird's face, and identity mask suggests uniqueness. This identity mask it suggests the uniqueness. That means it is used here which poetic device of metaphor. Okay, so you can check out little bit, work out with your dictionary to find out what is a metaphor. It is more or less like simile, but one thing it is different between simile and metaphor. It is used for comparison, but slight different it is there. So please try to find out. It will become very long video and you will feel bored. So let us move ahead with the next two lines. That is, then with irate whistle, chirp, whisperings, she launches the infinite or infinite. No, infinite. So here the poet says in this two lines. So here in this two line, okay, then irate, delicate, whistle, chirping, whispering, she launches away towards the infinite. So the bird flies off into the sky, disappearing. The goldfinch makes soft iry sounds before departing. Okay, in this line, before departing, the goldfinch makes soft iry sounds before departing, and the poetic device that it is used in this line is of onomatopoeia. That means whistle chirp. Okay, here whistle chirp is of onomatopoeia, and whistle chirp whispering is of alliteration because the repeated WW it is repeated. Okay, here W, okay, and W it is repeated, so it is of onomatopoeia. And also another poetic device of imagery it is depicted here as the bird's delicate sounds. Okay, this iris delicate sound. So three poetic devices are used by the poet in this one line. Okay, so you should know how to identify by breaking the part by part in the sentence. Then she launches away towards the infinite. So here the bird flies off into the sky, disappearing into the distance. And the poetic device that used here is of imagery. Okay, that suggests vastness of the sky. Okay, vastness of the sky. And metaphor the poet had used here is of infinite. Okay, infinite. That refers to the vast sky. This one. Okay. And the laburnum subsides to empty. So finally, after the goldfinch leaves, the tree becomes still and lifeless again. And the personification it is used here as a poetic device by the poet. That means the tree subsides, separate, and then contrast between the tree's liveliness during the bird's present and its emptiness afterward. That means another two poetic device we can highlight here. Okay, the laburnum subsides to empty, subsides here of the tree. That means the tree subsides. It is used as the personification, as a poetic device, and contrast also here it is used for comparing between the tree liveliness during the bird's presence and its emptiness afterward. So the poem uses a variety of poetic devices such as imagery, metaphors, simile, personification, and onomatopoeia to convey the transition from stillness to vitality and back to stillness, reflecting the fleeting nature of life and energy. Okay, so let us recall entirely one more time to understand it easily. So, in this way, I would like to put forward the poem The Laburnum Top describes the transformation of a quiet laburnum tree when a goldfinch arrives, means birds. Initially, the tree is still and lifeless with the yellowing leaves and fallen seeds in the autumn sunlight. However, the scene changes when the goldfinch suddenly appears, bringing a burst of energy. The bird moves swiftly and starts feeding her young, causing the tree to life with sound and movement. After her brief visit, she flies away, leaving the tree to return to its original silence and stillness. The poem highlights the contrast between life and quietness. Life and quietness. So, what is the reflection or the moral that we learn from this poem? After hearing the discussion, we have our different moral also according to understanding. But probably the poem, okay, the moral, that means the poem suggests that life and vitality can emerge from moments of stillness, showing how small actions can bring energy and purpose to seemingly lifeless situation. So this is all that the poet Ted Hughes wants us to understand and reflect to ourselves. And I hope you enjoyed the explanation. And if, then please share your fellow friends and let them also enjoy the understanding about the laburnum top. Thank you, and we'll wait for the next chapter to enjoy. Till then, take care and read and revise as usual. I remind for your deepest understanding.